And as always, I'm starting by sanitizing myself and sanitizing my client. Next, I'm cleansing the nail plate with a remover, even if the client has no existing polish on. This removes any residue or grime that may be on the nail plate from general everyday life that we don't want to be transferring from one nail to another. I then come in with my cuticle pusher, and starting around the centre of the nail, I give a couple of longer pushes up the nail plate to determine at which point the client's excess cuticle starts from. Then I gently focus on the eponychium area. With the knife end of my pusher, I then gently scrape away this excess dead cuticle. It's so important to take your time with this prep step. Not only are you working close to living tissue, but your gel polish does not want to stick to any of this debris, and not thoroughly prepping will lead you to surface breakdown and lifting issues. I then firmly dust away any debris and move on to my natural nail shaping using a 240 or 180 grit natural nail file. The nail then requires a very light buff with a 180 grit sponge buffer. This is to remove shine only. I first focus on the eponychium area before passing over the entire nail surface, and a pass underneath each free edge to remove any frills from my shaping process. I again firmly dust away any debris with both a downwards motion and a sideways pass of the brush beneath the free edge. Thoroughly cleanse each nail, making sure to get right into the sidewalls and not forgetting the free edge area. We're then ready to dehydrate the nail, which temporarily dehydrates the nail plate from any natural oils. Then it's on to our foundation layer. You want to remove excess base coat from the arm of the brush, remove as much base as possible from your bristles, and then come back in and pick up the teeniest amount on the edge of your brush. This is enough to do all 5 nails on one hand. To cap my free edges, I personally prefer to come in with a backwards motion first and scrub up to and just over the free edge. Then pushing up to the eponychium around 1 mm away from any skin with a scrubbing motion and pulling down to the free edge, scrubbing around one corner and pulling down, scrubbing around the other corner and pulling down. Generally one more pull down the centre of the nail, and then another very, very thin cap of the free edge with the edge of my bristles. And another trick is to flip your brush over to the other side of the bristles for each nail that you continue with. This foundation layer goes into the gelish lamp for a 5-second cure. Out of the lamp, you want to dry brush each cured nail to remove the excess inhibition layer, and you'll find your colour goes on much more smoothly after doing this. Then it's on to colour. I'm using a Gelish Exhale for this video. Each time I pick up colour, I'm wiping one side of my brush and half of the other side. And again, I start with my backwards motion. This motion is great for really short or bitten nails and just ensures your capping is as thin as it can be. This time, rather than scrubbing like our base coat, we're floating the brush with each stroke. Colour coats go into the gelish lamp for a 30-second cure. Then it's our second coat of colour. Your colour will build in opacity with this second coat. And another 30-second cure. And then it's on to structure gel, if required. You may be using this to encapsulate nail art, or if your client requires a strengthening layer. It's a thicker viscosity gel, but applies in the same way. This also requires a 30-second cure. Straight into our top it off top coat, making sure to thoroughly cap this layer on all fingers, paying close attention to index fingers and thumbs that get the most wear and tear. And this requires only a 20-second cure in the Gelish LED lamp. Out of the lamp, you want to allow the top coat to cool down slightly before cleansing the inhibition layer away with cleanser and a lint-free wipe. And however you choose to finish your salon services, you always want to at least use a cuticle oil to rehydrate the surrounding skin from all the cleansers used during service.